Today we're going to talk about keeping it clean.
Yeah, that'll be a first.
Hello.
Hi.
Today's episode we're going to talk about, what was it I said? Keeping it clean.
Building filters
Oh.
for your pond.
Oh. Fine.
Yeah.
Because they're dirty, dirty fish.
Do we need to start a drinking game about how downhill this episode is going to go if we're really going with keep it clean?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, notwithstanding.
honestly, filters. They're very super important.
Yes, they are.
So we want to talk a little bit about them and the different kinds we have here.
Well, we're talking specifically pond filters.
Okay.
Last episode we talked about building a pond.
Right.
But
Okay.
you're not done once you build the pond.
Yeah, you build the pond. It looks great.
Yeah, so this is part two.
Yeah, part two. Yeah, we built the pond. Now what? You
Yeah.
know, before you can put fish in it.
Yeah, very much like an aquarium, you do have to cycle a pond. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can do this.
Right.
And we have two main ways we do it, but there are three ways.
Blowing
we've done
bubbles
it.
is that.
Yeah, that's not how you do it.
Oh.
There are two things that you need, and that's going to be filtration and aeration.
Right.
And you can usually get them done with the same device.
Right.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the three ways that are easy, budget friendly.
Cheap. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's go cheap.
We build all our own equipment.
Right.
So
Because to buy a filter, to buy that system is a heck a lot of money.
Right.
Heck a lot of money is a
Heck
good
a
word.
lot of
Heck a
money.
lot of money.
Right.
So Shiva has figured out cheap ways,
Yes.
cost effective.
Yes. So we're going to tell you how to build three different ways to filter your pond, and two of them will give you some aeration, and the third can. So.
Okay.
So the first way I learned was using a box filter like this submerged one.
Right.
Now you can find these at like garden centers. Usually they look like black boxes with holes at the top, and it has a tube sticking out of it, and you can put like a sprinkler attachment or something to make it spray water. And most people stick them in the center of the pond. First of all, if you think you're going to have a fountain like that in your pond, and I'm talking from experience because, like an idiot, I spent the $100 to get one of those at first. Yeah, it's a good way to empty your pond.
Yeah.
All it takes is a fish to knock it a little bit, or even though it should go over on its side for whatever reason, and that fountain just starts spraying right over the edge.
There goes all your water because it
And,
sucks your water up as it's spraying the water.
Now, basically, what a box filter is it's a plastic box. Looks like a shoe box usually, but you can build them much bigger, and believe me, I have. But the ones that you find commercially at like a garden center or a hardware center is like a black shoe box, and it has a top like like one of those storage boxes that has holes all in it.
Yeah.
And then there's the
Circle
big hole in the middle.
Yeah.
And what
That's
you do?
what she said.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What was that about keeping it clean?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thank you for playing.
I failed already. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so what you do is you put a submersible water pump in it. You can get those relatively cheap on like Amazon and some places. If you go to like a hardware store or something, you're going to pay a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Amazon or something like that. You can get them for about $10, $15.
Depending on the size.
But
That's what she said again.
I'm basically going with what you find in like
I'm
Lowe's.
failing this test.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And she just wants to keep clean.
Trying.
Anyway, I'm talking specifically the $99 ones that you
Right,
get.
right.
So you only need like a small pump for that. But you put the pump into it, and then it attaches to the tube, and that's what it draws in your water through the holes at the top. You put a bunch of media.
I was going to say, you gotta have to put media there. I was going to say, you're missing something.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Basically, you put the pump in there. You put media. Usually people use bio balls, which usually come with it. There's plastic balls that look like golf balls that have gone through a shredder.
Yeah, but what do we use?
I'll get there.
Okay.
I'm talking about what you find commercially first.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because they need to understand this part before I tell them how to treat it.
Okay.
So they put the bio balls in, and they also have a big sponge that fits right on top. Then you put the top on, and then you have the hose, and you connect the hose to whatever, like a tube or that fountain thing, which I really don't recommend. They also have the Bell things, the Bell sprayers, which aren't as bad.
Right.
But the fountain ones, oh my god. I can't tell you how many ponds I emptied doing that. But anyway, that whole setup usually costs anywhere from like $100 to $120 depending on where you get it. Mm-hmm. You can build this for about a fourth of that. Right. And so now we're going to tell you how to cheat it.
Right.
Okay, so how we cheated it is I bought one of these, one of these $100 deals just to see how it was put together and figure out, how it worked.
Right.
And after figuring out how it worked, I figured out how to cheat it, and it's very easy. You're going to want to go to a discount shop like a Walmart or a Dollar General or someplace like that. You want to get a heavy-duty closed box, like a storage box.
Storage box with the lid, plastic.
Lid is important. If you can find,
plastic.
Yeah, it has to be plastic. If you can find the kind of lids that
clips.
lock down,
Lockdown lids is best.
that's the best.
Yep. Lockdown lids. Cost might be an extra $1 or $2.
Right.
Worth it.
Now,
Trust us.
Now, you are not limited by size. You can either go for a regular shoebox.
I bet he said that all the time. Anyway, go ahead. I'm trying.
Remember, folks, the episode is keeping it clean.
Yeah, I didn't say a word, though. All I did was laugh.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Boxes with clasps.
Yeah. Anyway,
Blocks.
anyway, you can get different sizes. You don't have to get the regular shoebox size. I've done so much as getting like those totes with the 40-gallon totes. And made them
just depends on what what size your pond. What
it
you want.
It depends on how much filtration you need.
Right.
Now these boxes are only good for small ponds. They are not good for big ones.
Right.
These work
good. These work for the 200-gallon pond.
200-gallon, maybe 250.
Maybe even 300.
Yeah.
Maybe even 4. I think we did the 400 one, but
Yeah.
But depending on what kind of fish you have in it too.
Right.
Okay, please keep that in the back of your mind as well.
But they're also not great for really deep ponds. So this is for ponds
Shallow.
that are like 2 feet max.
Right.
Unless you're planning on dropping it to the bottom and running a hose from it, then you might have a little bit more wiggle room. But for the most part, you don't want to go too deep with these because you're also going to be cleaning them frequently, which I will get to in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Fish poop.
so lots of fish poop. So basically, once you get your container, you're going to take a drill and knock a bunch of holes in it. Now I usually go around the sides as well. I know that the commercial ones are usually a solid box, which is the holes on the top. I do holes along the first half of the side as well, the top half of the side as well. That's your water intake, and you're going to want a lot of water intake coming in onto that thing.
Right.
So you're going to put holes at the top, you're going to put holes in the first half, upper half of the sides. And that's going to be your filter box. Then you go ahead and go onto like Amazon or some discount place and get the size filter or submersible pump that you need. You can get small for small boxes. You can get really large ones.
Right. Yeah, depends on the size. Depends on the size of the box. Look at me being serious. Depends on the size of the box.
Yes.
All right.
I'm impressed that you're serious.
I'm trying. Won't last long.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, at this point, then you can either, if you want something that spews out water, you can go ahead and get the fittings for it, get PVC pipe, attach it, and do that.
Put a hole on the lid.
Yeah, what I usually do is I do tubing and I run waterfalls from it.
Right.
Like right now, I have waterfalls that I've built from like planters and things like that, and I just basically run a tube from the pump over to whatever I have, whatever I need water delivered to in order to add aeration.
Right.
But as far as the media that you want to throw in there, I use scrubbies.
I go to the dollar store. Dollar store scrubbies.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple of bags of those because you do have to occasionally change them out.
Oh yeah.
But you do have to clean them.
Yeah, the plastic ones are great. So you can get the dollar store scrubbies, depending on how big your container is how many you're going to get.
Right.
I mean, I've wiped out 2 or 3 dollar stores before when I was putting big stuff together. But basically, you want to get those. Another thing will work is those poofy things that people use for the shower.
Loofahs. Loofahs work.
They work. Another thing that works is lava rock. If you go to
which is a little more expensive, but
yeah, it's a little more expensive, but it helps weight your box down too.
Yeah, that would say sometimes you want to put a little lava rock in there just to weight the box down, or
Yeah, because depending on the size of your box, that filter that pump might not be heavy enough to keep it down. So you want to get some lava rock. The reason why I say lava rock is it's very porous,
Yeah.
so it really collects that bacteria, which is a whole thing you need for a biofilter.
Yeah, what you're trying to do is get the bacteria and stuff to grow in there, not to grow in there, but
to grow in there to
Yeah.
convert the nitrate to nitrate or nitrate
Yeah.
to nitrate,
Whatever
the hell that is.
Sure, Mr. Captain.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, basically, lava rocks, I think you can get like a bag of them for like $5, a big bag, and you know, just throw that at the bottom of it, put your pump in and whatnot. That'll help weight it down.
Put the scrunchies and stuff in there around it.
Right, and then if you want to really clear up your water, you can also get filter fabric.
Yep.
Now, you probably have seen filter fabric from, you know, just those little cartridges that people put in their aquarium things. You can actually get it by the roll.
Yeah.
It's about $15 for 10 feet of it, and you can use it as you need it.
Yeah, you can cut it and use it as you need it.
And you just put that on top.
Right. So yeah, I mean, it does work. They trust us. We do it all the time. Those are for the small ones.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a shoebox. I mean, I've used like those plastic gallon mason jar things. I've used those before.
Okay.
And
that's right. You did use Yeah. Whatever you got to do.
Anything that you can put holes in and has a lid that you can lock down, that can be turned into a submersible filter.
Yeah.
So that is the first and easiest way, but those are only good, again, for small, shallow ponds. So our next method, and this is good for above ground ponds, which we have a lot of.
Right.
We have a lot of above ground ponds. You could probably do it for underground ponds, except for most of those are, you know, weird shape. Above grounds tend to be more
rectangular.
Rectangular.
Right.
So, and that is the sump method.
Right. Which we do use.
Yeah, we use it in this one, and we use it in the side one, and all of
ours have sumps. Right.
Sumps are a good thing to have anyway, no matter which method you're using. It doesn't hurt to have a spare sump area. What I do is I take cinder blocks, and I portion off a small part of the rectangle, just on the ends. I mean, I've got, like, our indoor pond has them on both ends. But basically, you want to build a wall that you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to mortar.
The fish can't get through.
Yeah, you don't want to mortar it, but you do want to put the cinder block close enough together that the fish can't get through it, but water can.
Right.
Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting some of those submersible pumps in that area, which is going to draw the water in through the cinder blocks. Then you're going to throw a bunch of media into that area.
Right.
Which you know, sponges, lava rocks. And then another thing that we do, that because we don't like our fish getting hold of plants because they like to breathe in them, is I keep the plants in the sump area.
Right.
So if you have like floating plants.
So you still have the plant, the value of the plants that are getting, I can't speak, sorry, getting their good whatevers to the fish.
Well,
what's it called?
They suck up the nitrates.
Yeah, you get that. I cannot speak today. All right, you can
help.
talk now.
All right.
Apparently, I'm still on the keeping it clean thing.
Yeah, plants will suck up the nitrates, and it'll also help aerate your pond a little bit.
Right.
So
aeration was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. So what I do is in my sump areas where my fish aren't, all of my sump areas have plants in it, whether it's the floating hyacinth or the devil's ivy or bamboo or anything that I can put in there, even underwater plants.
Mm-hmm.
And I just throw plants in my sump area, and you know, you do want to protect your pumps a bit if you're going to do underwater plants.
Yeah, because they'll suck up.
Yeah, you're going to probably want to build a filter box for your pump if you have underwater plants, because they will suck the plants in. But if you're using floating plants like lily pads, devil's ivy vines, floating hyacinth, things like that, you won't need it as much. Anyway, you're going to throw your submersible pump into the sump area, and then you're going to run a line to your waterfalls or whatever it is that puts the water back into your main pond.
Right.
And basically that acts as a big filter box.
Yeah, it works really well.
Mm-hmm. It works great. Like I said, I have a sump area in each one of my outdoor ponds that have fish in it. Yeah, for my plant ponds I don't bother, but anything that has fish in it, as far as like goldfish, carp family, things like that, plecos, I have a sump area. And that is really the cost of a few cinder blocks, depending on the size of your pond. You just want to make sure that the cinder blocks break the surface level so the fish can't get into it. Because there's nothing worse than getting fish stuck in your sump and you have to go chase them around.
Been there, done that.
Been there many times.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, so basically
We actually have one in the sump right
yeah,
now.
we have one in the pond from Hell.
We're
Sump
still
right
not sure
now.
how we got back there. We're assuming when it rained really hard,
Yeah.
the water filled up the pond almost to the very top, and there was a little tiny gap. And we're thinking he jumped it.
Yeah.
So is what we're only thing we can
Daredevil
think of.
fish.
That's the only thing we can think of. That's the only way, because he's big enough that he couldn't have got in there any other way,
Yeah.
unless a bird picked him up and dropped
Yeah,
him.
just-
Yeah.
yeah.
Wasn't us, so
Yeah. The other fish.
he wasn't little. He wasn't a little one that
no.
squeezed in a hole
He's not.
somewhere.
He's about 7 inches.
That's what I'm saying. So he had to have jumped over.
Yeah.
But the water was really high. It did rain a lot, and that's another thing you gotta watch. But anyway,
Yeah. The droppers.
shut
Oh,
up.
really?
Anyway,
Anyway, so sump areas are great for ponds regardless, but it does help with the filtration an awful lot, and it does help with your biocycle. So those are easy, and it's pretty much the cost of a few cinder blocks or however many you need to be able to section off a piece.
right.
If you have a really, really large square pond or whatnot, you can literally build a corner piece, which I've done before.
Like which we
Mhm.
we have done both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the sump method, and that's always in good combination with either one of the other two methods. That one I'll talk about next, one that I talked about with the filter boxes. A sump is a good extra, but you can run on a sump by itself as well.
Right. Depending on how strong the pump
Yeah,
is again.
depending again on how strong your pump is.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you can throw. Well, the nice thing about a sump area is you can throw several pumps in there.
Right.
I've thrown like 3
Right.
pumps in a sump area before.
Right.
So,
Or you can make the monster pump.
yeah, or this was before I got the 9,000 gallon an hour pump. I was
Right.
throwing 3 400
Yeah, I
gallon.
know. I remember. I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
I remember.
I'm throwing like 3 500 gallon per hour pumps in. It's like, okay, we need more power. More power.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll go to the big black box.
Ooh, boy, yeah. 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 I'm being good. Look at me.
Look at Sandy being good.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, they didn't buy it either.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't buy it either.
Yep.
I don't know what the heck that noise.
earthquake. No,
That is a cat.
that is a cat.
That is a cat. Sorry, folks. Okay.
All right.
So last but not least, we're going to talk about.
Above ground filters.
Is that what I thought we were talking about the big black box?
Well, we call it the big black
Just
box.
teasing around.
We actually have 2 of
We have
them
two.
now.
One's
Yeah,
a
one's
big
a
black.
big green box.
One's a big black box and one's a big green box.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Now, these little devils are fun. And
Is that what they are?
Well, they're fun, but they're also great
Relaxing.
at polishing water. Basically, I started building these because our indoor pond kept getting cloudy and the sumps were just not strong enough to be able to really polish the water.
Right.
So I knew I needed to get a filter, and there was no way in hell I was going to keep doing submersible boxes because cleaning them is a pain in the ass.
Which she'll talk about in a minute.
Yes, I will talk about cleaning these
At the
in a
end,
minute.
yeah, we'll talk about that at the end because these are
Because
not.
that gets really dirty.
Yeah.
This is a clean episode. Anyway.
She goes with the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So,
Big black box.
Yeah, so the big black boxes, this is an above the water filter.
Right.
It's an above ground filter. You need to make sure that it is higher than the water. We've got 2 of them. The first one is in our indoor area and it's set on cinder blocks above the water. And then the one outside in the pond from hell is actually set in between,
In between the
two sides.
The two sides, yeah.
And it just has this platform that sends the water,
Both ways, yeah.
well, one way.
One way because it comes from the sump. And,
Right. So basically what these are is if you get big containers, like the one in here, the black box, is actually the type of tool chest for the back of a pickup truck.
Back in the day when they made the big deep tool chest for the pickups, they don't really make them so much anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know, remember where she found it, but she found this big,
I got
huge,
it like
thick,
30 years ago from when
Yeah.
I had a pickup truck.
Yeah, this thing is big and
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, basically
So
what you're
you
looking
need something
for,
that's going to hold the water, not bust.
Right, you need something that's done with thick plastic.
Yeah,
Now, I have done these with planters before.
right.
I've done these with tall, heavy planters before, as long as you have to be able to drill holes in them.
Right.
So you can't use ceramic or anything. You have to use thick, heavy plastic, but you have to make sure that the way to test it, fill it with water and let it sit for a while and see if it bows or not.
Right.
Yeah, because this is going to fill with water.
Yep.
So you need to be able to test any container before you use it.
Right.
Fill it with water, hang out for a little bit,
See
make
if
sure
it
it
starts to
doesn't
bow.
bow.
Yeah.
If it
And you'll
doesn't
see
bow,
the
you're
plastic start turning white, like as it bows.
good.
You'll know. You'll know.
Yeah.
It bowls out. It's bad.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And it is so important that these don't bow, so you really need thick. Now, you can double up on containers, but it's going to be a little bit extra work.
Right.
And you'll figure that out as soon as I tell you how to build these things.
Right.
Now, I've done them 3 different ways, but I'm going to go with the 2 easiest.
Okay.
The third involved a lot of cursing and
Okay. Well,
PVC
let's
and yelling.
clean. So we're going
Yes.
to try the clean episode.
Okay, so the first one is that we did was the big black box. And that's set, like I said, is set up on cinder blocks right over the pond. And it is filled with, it's about 1/3 filled with lava rock. Remember
Lava
that
rock.
word? Lava rock. Lava rock becomes essential for these things.
Right.
These are big, you're going to need a lot of surface area with a lot of nooks and crannies.
Right.
So it's filled 1/3 with lava rock, and then the rest is a bunch of those scrunchies. You know, those nice Dollar Tree scrubbies.
A lot of them.
And then I have a lot of, I have at least 2 layers of
The filter sponge, whatever it's called. Yeah.
the filter fabric. Now, another thing that some people do, and I've done this a couple times, is they can also put big bags, like the net mesh bags of charcoal.
Charcoal. I was gonna say, don't we use charcoal sometimes? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I do that if I need an extra clean, or when I'm starting.
Yeah. When you started, you had it in
When I
there.
started, now I don't need it as much, but you know.
But if the water ever gets really cloudy, it's a quicker way of
yeah.
cleaning the water.
Mm-hmm. But basically, what you're going to be doing is you need to be able to run a submersible pump from somewhere, preferably as far away from this as possible. The way I have mine set up is I have this pump on one side of the pond, and then a tube runs to the filter on the other side. Because you want it, if you put the pump too close to the filter, you're just sucking up the same clean water you just did.
Right.
You want to do it on opposite ends.
Far apart as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So she was her ingenuity took effect, and she ran a hose underneath the thing where you can't see it.
Yeah, I basically ran a hose from my sump, and then it runs along the back under a bunch of rocks, and then it feeds my box. Basically, we drilled a bunch of holes. Well, for this box, we only drilled 3 holes.
3 holes, yeah.
And one is for a big one that the tube goes into from where the water comes in. And we attached PVC pipe and drilled a bunch of small holes in that in order to evenly distribute the water to the whole box. Otherwise, it's just going to go to one spot.
Right.
So you'll see that it evenly distributes. And then at the bottom, we have 2 holes, and they each have PVC tubes pulling out, and they feed the 2 waterfalls that are right by it.
Right.
That go dumping into the pond. So basically, you're going to need an intake hole and outtake holes. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry.
here's our clean episode again.
Sorry. It was hard for you me to just let that one go.
I know.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Go back.
so that's going to be your bare minimum when it comes to drilling holes. Now, the one I did outside, I did completely differently.
Let's say whole different setup.
It functions just the same, but it's a completely different setup. And I did, with this one, I had a big heavy plastic container that I turned it upside down, and I drilled about 100 holes at the bottom. The very bottom of it, not the sides, just the very bottom of it. And I built this tray that I lined with pond liners that the water would come down out of it and then go directed into the pond. Now, what I did with this one, I know. What I did with this one is...
It's all an experiment that worked.
Yeah.
But it was a couple of trials. But go ahead.
Yeah, it took me a while, but I figured it out. And basically, I've set a couple bricks in the tray, my water catcher tray. Set a couple bricks in there in order to keep the box itself above it, so the water could drip down.
Right.
And then I filled that bitch with scrubbies. Lots and lots and lots of scrubbies. I didn't use lava stone on this one simply because of the way it was built. It wasn't.
Right.
The water had to go all the way down.
Right.
It's not going off to the side like the big one.
Right.
So basically, the water, and then I use the filter fabric on top, and then I have a hose going from the
sump,
the pump in the sump.
Pump in the sump.
The pump in the sump takes the water up to a hose that goes to the top of this, top of this thing.
Top of it.
Where it sprays the water down, it trickles down through the fabric, down through all the scrubbies, down to the very bottom where all those holes are, and then it goes right out
into the
pond.
ponds. So it was interesting to watch her do it. And there were a couple of times when she aimed the water wrong. That was funny.
Yeah.
Things like that. It was just, comical. And right now there's some issues with the size of the newest pump you put in there. So strong.
Yeah, the new pump that I put in is twice as strong as the old one, and it's blowing water everywhere. So my poor little green box can't handle it, so I'm going to be upgrading.
So hopefully we'll remember to film it this time.
Yeah. I bought I bought the container. I was just not in the mood to put it together today.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll try to get that on film for you.
Yeah.
But
basically the general thing you need is to be able to cultivate bacteria one way or the other. And that's by running dirty water through sponges, lava rock, filter fabric, all this stuff. Because that's what filters your water.
Right.
You're converting the bad stuff into good stuff.
Right.
Now, the fun part.
Yeah. This is the fun part? This is the dirty part? Or
this is the very, very, very dirty part. This is where
this is what Sandy likes, not so much.
No,
not so much.
Nobody likes
this part.
Nobody likes this part at all.
But it is required.
Yes.
Especially for the bigger ponds with fish in them.
Yeah, especially carp.
So, yeah. So, anyway.
Okay.
Sumps.
Now, when you have an aquarium, you know how, changing your filter is just a matter of just popping out a cartridge and putting a new one in, throwing that one away, and saying, be done with it? That does not hold true when it comes to pond sumps like these.
Right. None of them.
None of them. You are going to be up to your elbows in fish shit.
Yeah.
So.
Best way to say it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah. No matter which method you go, or any combination of any of these methods,
they have to be cleaned
out.
They
have to be cleaned on a regular basis. Now.
And depending on how large and what size fish,
depends
how often. But
yeah,
in her case,
often?
about once a week.
No.
Well, not for the big ones.
Not for the big ones. The smaller the filter, the more you're going to have to clean it.
Right.
And you're going to have a good indicator if you have it running to a waterfall or anything like that, because all of a sudden your waterfall is going to stop, or it's going to weaken.
You'll see it weaken quick.
You'll see it weaken quick, and as soon as you notice that, guess what? It means that you need to clean out your box.
Right. It's a really good quick indication.
Yeah.
Oh look, my waterfall stopped. Oh crap! I got to clean out the crap.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, the smaller, especially when it comes to these submersible box filters, the smaller the box, the more you're going to be cleaning it.
Yeah.
Now, when I was running the small little boxes, I was literally cleaning them every week.
Yeah, once a week-ish.
Once a week,
Yeah.
sometimes twice.
Yeah.
It depends. Now, my big black, when I moved to my big black box here, I think I clean that maybe twice a year.
Yeah. Unless you're feeling generous and then you do it just because.
Yeah. Now, my sumps is a different story. Now,
Right.
my sumps, I clean those about once a month. I just take a net and scoop out, anything.
Wait till you see that. It's
yeah, we'll be
disgusting.
showing you that. But basically, the boxes, they're literally full of shit. You're going to have to take everything out. You're going to have to hose everything down, put it back in, stick it back in.
You don't want to clean it to the point where it's perfectly clean.
You just hose them off.
Just hose them off. You want some of the bacteria to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you do want to get all basically the fish shit off.
Yeah.
So keep it clean, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it clean.
Just not too clean.
That is more like me. Keep it clean, but not too clean.
Right. I mean, you don't want it, you'll see it when you pull it out. This stuff is caked on there. You just take a hose.
Yeah, just take a hose. And you'll see, and you'll know. You'll get there like, okay, it's mostly clean, but that's got leaves a little bit.
Yeah.
You have to leave a little bit. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah. And your filter fabric's going to get nasty, and I basically hose that off.
Hose that off
in the sun to dry. I always switch them out. Like, I've got 2 different pads, and I just switch them.
Yeah.
I clean one off or hose one off and put the other one back in, and
Yeah.
Your filter pads, don't worry about how clean they are, because it's your scrubbies and your lava arc that you want to keep a little dirty. Your filter pads, that's your polisher. You can have
that clean. You can hose it off, and like she said, she leaves it out in the sun to kill anything on it, so it's nice and fresh and clean, and then she puts in, so.
Yeah, that's your first layer that the water goes through.
Yeah.
But basically, it depends on the size of your pond, how many fish you have, what kind of fish you have, as to how often you're going to clean these. The reason why I don't do the submersible box pumps anymore, filters anymore, is because I was literally cleaning them every week, sometimes twice.
Yeah.
twice on Sundays, you know. So
Yeah, it was getting frustrating. And when she figured out a way to make them cheaper and bigger and better, she went with that.
Yeah, that was my inspiration for figuring out.
It was because you're like, I'm so sick of cleaning these all the time, and you're like, I think I can make something bigger and better.
Yeah, and it's like rain or shine. It didn't matter. It could be December, January, and I'd have to be out there in the freezing cold, reaching in the water to grab the submersible pumps.
Yeah.
It's like, great, I'm going to die of pneumonia for my fish. And
Yes,
it's like, hey,
yes,
there's got to be an easier way to do this, and that's how I figured out the other two. So that is something to keep in mind too. Now, if you have like a plant pond or something with just like, guppies or minnows in it, then you can probably keep a submersible box filter in there, not a problem. But if you have any carp or any type of dirty fish, you're going to be doing this a lot.
Kind of fish.
Or if you have kids, you make them do it.
We don't have any of them.
No, we don't have any kids around here.
No, dang it. I'm going to get some kids around here.
If
you're volunteering your children,
leave us a comment below.
Anyway, like, subscribe, share, comment below. We'd love to hear what kind of filters you use. If you buy the nice expensive ones, or if you made your own.
Right now.
What you did, we'd love to hear about it.
That is something we should probably talk price points on real quick.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, box filters, like I said, you can build them for about $25 or more, depending on how big you want.
Right.
But you have a lot of control over that price.
Right.
Sump areas are basically the cost of cinder blocks and scrubbies or lava rock. And then your above ground filters like the black box and the green box, again, that one's flexible depending. You could probably go to like thrift stores and find like the heavy duty. I mean, I've also seen heavy duty tool kits that are made of plastic. You just need something really heavy duty.
Right.
If you bought it new, you're probably going to spend $200-300, but there are ways to find them cheap.
Yeah.
Or like I said, I've got large planters, those huge planters that are really heavy.
Right.
That hold dirt and water and stuff, and I've used those before.
Yep. Improvise, adapt, overcome.
And I have heard people using garbage cans before.
Yeah.
Like the heavy duty garbage cans that can hold water.
We thought about that, but it's just a little too...
It looks a little too trashy.
Well,
literally.
It was a little too... It wouldn't work for the pond we had outside.
Yeah,
we were thinking about it.
Yeah, but it would sit too high.
I'm saying, but the way the pond is designed out there, it would sit too high. But we actually thought about it.
Yeah.
Not even joking.
Yeah, we did think about it, but it would have literally...
But it would work for some people. I mean, it just depends. So just think heavy-duty plastic is what you're looking for, and the design you can live with.
Yes.
I mean, like the black box is not that attractive.
No, it's not.
The green box is hidden, so you really can't see it as well. But we try to put fun things on top of the black box to make it fun. I mean, so... It's okay.
Yeah, we try to decorate.
Yeah, we decorate with silly stuff.
It's really hard now. The submersible box filters are easy to hide. I mean, you put them under bridges and you put them, corners and run your lines for fountains. Those are easy to hide.
But you also got to remember when you hide them, you got to remember you still got to get to them. So keep that in the back of your mind. You hide it and it looks great and you can't see it, but then in a week you got to pull it.
Yeah, you need to be able to get to them frequently.
So just keep that in the back of your mind, because that's never fun if it's hidden under the bridge on the other side when you have to crawl across the bridge every time. Been there, done that.
Yes, we have.
So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind too for those submersible ones. But like, subscribe, share, comment below. We'd love to hear if you have one or if what you've done, how you've made yours work.
Yeah.
It's always interesting. I mean, and I don't even know. Do you know what the price of the expensive big ones are?
Anywhere from $300 and up. Okay. I mean, I know people who have gotten like those huge ones for bigger ponds, and that's you're talking $1,000.
Yeah.
And I would have just built a sump and a couple boxes.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I mean, so you can do it the expensive way if you have money. We don't. We don't.
We have to do everything on the cheap.
On the cheap, yeah.
It works.
It works. Yeah, it may not look as attractive as yours, but you know what? Ours works just as well, if not better, in some instances. But if you have any questions, like, subscribe, share, comment below. We'd love to hear about it. If you don't agree with us, you think your sump is better, your pump is better, we'd love to hear that too, just for fun.
Yeah.
So Shiva can just rip you to shreds on it. And I'm just kidding.
I won't rip anybody to shreds.
I'm just teasing. She doesn't. She's too nice.
Yeah. The only time I really get angry is when people say, "Don't touch your fish, you'll kill them." It's like, why aren't mine dead yet?
You play with the damn things all the time.
Yeah.
Buy stuff from our shop. I am wearing my shirt. We're actually wearing my shirt about filters.
Yep. All fish need a filter.
I didn't even do that on purpose. Just so you know, I just grabbed one of my shirts.
I thought you did.
Nope. But works for me.
Yeah, we have two shops. We've got the graphic shop where you can get our No Bowls collection.
Yeah.
Or the all fish need a filter. Basically all our little cute designs. That's in our graphic shop. And then we also have our Etsy shop, which is called the Fishy Shop, and that has all of our handmade ornaments and keychains and whatever else we've decided to make. And the links are below. They're in the description.
Okay.
And I'm sure Mr. Captions will throw our main website, which is www.ourrelaxingHobby.com, has everything. That's the everything everywhere all at once place.
Right.
If you need to find us on YouTube and you can't remember our channel name, you go there, it'll take you to it. You need links to our shops, it's there. Anything else we decide to get involved with, it even has an episode guide that we sometimes remember to update.
We do? Oh, good for us.
Yeah, once in a while.
Good for
I'll be
us.
sitting there going, have we updated the episode guide yet? Whoops.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
I haven't even been on that in probably 2 months, 3 months. I haven't even gone. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, we suck at webmastering, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Mr. Captions is supposed to take care of that.
No, we don't want Mr. Captions handling our website. Are you kidding me?
That'd be funny.
Oh,
That'd be
no.
awesome.
Oh my god, can you see episode descriptions with Mr. Captions?
Yes.
Sorry, dude.
I'm not being mean to Mr. Captions.
No, I handle the website. I don't let Mr. Captions anywhere near it.
Fine.
I don't. I just thought that would be a bad idea.
But like, subscribe, share, comment below. We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
If you have any ideas about filters, or if you do something unique, we'd love to hear about that too.
Yeah.
Because I know people do it differently. Everybody does different things, and if it works for you, let us know. We may incorporate it.
Yeah.
Because we're not proud. We'll take another suggestion if it's better than ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
we still want to make koi rana, so buy stuff.
Yeah.
The fish would love it, because, you know, why not?
Yeah. Because they're going to get a lot of bloodworms out of it.
Right? It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that is something we have figured out, is how to do the effects for koi rana. It's going to take a lot of money and time.
Yeah.
And both
Yeah.
money and time.
Money and time.
Yeah, we can't do this with sock puppets. It wouldn't work.
Fish. Anyway, whoop, 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 yeah. Anyway, we would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, share, comment below. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Bye.